Yes.
Come on, Brad.
Yeah, it's not a quorum.
We do. We'd start without it.
Brad's making a phone call, I think.
Yeah.
There it is.
He's on the phone?
Yes.
There he is.
Hey, shut the door.
He
You
did.
forgot your job.
He did.
Oh, you did. I thought you forgot your job.
I got yelled at enough. I remember
All
this
right, way to
time.
go. He's just like a dad, isn't he?
Okay, it's 5:09 on Monday, August the 15th, and we will call this city council meeting to order. Would like to welcome everyone to our meeting. And if everyone would please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Deb.
Jody.
Here.
Harlan.
Here.
Brad.
Here.
Rodney.
Here.
Tyler. Don.
Here.
Entertain a motion then to approve today's agenda. So moved.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Harley, a second from Jody. Any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Jody.
Yes.
Harlan.
Yes.
Brad.
Yes.
Rodney.
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Motion carried. Across the mayor's desk, I'd just like to thank our videographer, Riker Brindley, today for helping us out. And just a reminder that school starts next week, and there'll be a lot of little feet crossing the street. So please drive carefully. So, anybody else have anything they would like to share? Okay, hearing none, update from the city administrator.
Yeah, a couple items. Later on in the meeting, Mccoy from Bolton Bank will provide project updates as we consider the pay applications. But for folks interested on projects and where they're going to in street reconstruction and mill and overlay, they can go to our city website or our city Facebook page and find a link to the project websites there where they can view updates and or sign up for text or email updates or call City Hall if they have any questions on kind of plans and status. I'll let Matt share some of the more details on that. Then want to let everyone know and get the word out more aggressively than just this, but on September 7th, that's a Wednesday, we will be having the reveal of our community visioning boards. So that will be on the Carnegie lawn in coordination with the farmers market event. But the community visioning piece will be from 3 to 5:30. That'll be taking the dozen or so kind of project boards that based on the public input, the focus groups, the surveys, the steering committee, on the goals and objectives that they identified and then potential projects and sharing those to get input from the public on the proposed ideas. So encourage folks to attend that. They'll also be put on a website that people can view after the fact, but before they put the final touches on things, like to run past people and kind of get their thoughts. So that'll be Wednesday, September 7th from 3 to 5:30 at the Carnegie Lawn. And then finally, I want to invite Police Chief Bo Miller, as well as our newest city employee, Haley Kine, up to Bo to introduce her in her new position.
Hey guys, thank you very much. I'm just going to say a couple quick words. We've been up here and we spoke a few times about the mental health community liaison position that we've been working pretty hard on, getting the funding for that to make it work, and with the help of the Care Connections, you guys with the ARPA funds and the county, we've been very lucky to be able to hire Haley, and I'm going to let her tell her about herself.
Yeah. So a little bit just about my background, as I know I've seen a couple faces before so far, but I grew up in Eagan, Minnesota, and I went to school in Mankato, and I went to school for alcohol and drug studies and corrections. Right out of school, I worked at a treatment center as a licensed alcohol and drug counselor and did that for 4 years before we made the move to Algona. And during the time before I took this position, I was working as a crime victim advocate with victims of homicide. So it's a little bit about kind of what my background is in the mental health world. And so I know you guys have talked with Bo and kind of everyone about like what this position is, you know, this envisionment of this position, but kind of talking with them individually and kind of pulling everyone together. I think like a big goal overall is getting ahead of the crisis before officers, sheriffs are getting called out to it. So a big thing that I'm working right now to do is just be able to pull the resources we have and have that available and have people reach out if needed before we get to that point of having law enforcement go out to the scene. Data collection is going to be a huge thing. I do have some data collected already that I can share with you guys right now just so that we can kind of see hopefully a decrease in. So between 2020 and 2021, our increase of mental health calls into dispatch went up 54%. So that's a year span went up 54%. And then already this year, we're up 4% from 2021, just through August, or just through July. So I did not count August yet. So I think that just shows like, you know, can kind of put into perspective that need of having someone beforehand and the follow-up afterwards to help with those resources and hopefully decrease those calls and save time for them. So it's kind of just a little bit of what I've been working on so far, and I'm excited to see how we can expand this into like other rural environments and just see with it being a pilot program being watched and see where it can go.
You guys have any questions? I'm excited to have her on board. She's been doing great.
Yep.
We're just over 1 weekend, but she's been doing great.
All right, sounds like it.
Kind of pretty much told her what we wanted, and she took off. It's been
Great.
So.
I will leave some business cards on the table here because I do have some now. So if you guys ever have questions, just reach out and I'll be glad to answer them. I'm located in the PD, so if you ever need anything, you just call the non-emergency line, they'll transfer you to me too. So,
Welcome.
thank you.
Thanks, Haley.
Yes.
Okay. We'll move then to agenda item number 7. This is the citizens' opportunity to address the council with any item that's not on the agenda. Is there anyone out there that would like to speak? Seeing no one, we'll move to agenda item number 8, which is the consent agenda, and that includes the approving the minutes from our August 1st work session as well as the regular council meeting that day, approving the bills to be paid this cycle, approve the July department reports as well as the minutes from the various boards and commissions that met, and approve Jacob's administrator's report.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Harley, second from Don. Any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Jody?
Yes.
Harley?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Motion carried. We'll move to agenda item number 9 under old business. This is a request for a street closure from Scott Seawick.
First of all, I apologize for missing the last meeting. I'll give you one of these, just kind of explain what we're doing.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know, do you still have a copy, Deb, of the streets? I'm asking for street closure on September 18th. The car show is from 1:30 to 4:30. I think last year, Bo closed the streets around 10 o'clock, something like that. And I'm asking for the streets from, would be the west side of Harlan Street to the east side of Hall Street. I'm asking for an extra block this year. I've handed out 5,000 flyers this year, so hopefully our show will be a little bigger than what it was last year. Last year we had 153 entries. So, I know Randy Raber just put it on like the NSRA site and some other sites too, so we may get some people from a ways away. We're hoping anyway. The other request I'd like to make is last year I requested that we could have beer and wine on the street because the streets are closed. I've got this year actually pretty much everybody uptown has made a commitment to be open. I've got a couple places that are still kind of deciding, but I think they're leaning on the yes side. So I'm trying to get as many businesses as I can open during the thing. Also, would request that the public restrooms be open again. And then I had another request from a nonprofit organization that wanted to sell root beer floats. I didn't know if there was anything against city code or anything on that. It's a church group. But I figured I'd better ask to make sure that.
It would just be a typical kind of transient permit that they can get from Deb here at City Hall.
Okay, so they need to come up and do something at City Hall anyway? Okay. I guess that's about all I've got, so.
I think it went well for you last year, and you've worked with Bo, and I'm sure you both have worked it out, so.
Yeah, Bo was okay with the extra block,
Okay.
and then the obviously the half blocks down the street. So there would be Moore Street, Dodge Street, Thorrington on both sides, halfway down is what I'm
Sunday, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope your event's as successful as it was last time. I'd make a motion that we approve the street closures.
Yep, I'll second.
We have a motion from Rodney, second from Jody. Any other discussion? Hearing none, vote please, Deb.
Jody,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Rodney,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Thanks for all your hard
Thank
work.
you.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
We'll move to the new business agenda, item number 10, and this concerns the residential tree program.
So this is the second year of the program, and currently as it operates, it is partnership between the city and AMU that if you plant a tree in a permitted place on the right of way, the city will rebate up to $75. And then on the private side, as part of the utility rebate, AMU would provide $75. We've only had a handful of participants in the last 2 years. I think the total number of trees it's less than 20. And kind of given our discussion in our work session about Emerald Ash Borer, the need to reforest with the kind of some limited areas. And just with as we've seen just on our side of, the price of all grasses, plants, and trees have dramatically gone up the last year, it seems like. Just to kind of get this program going a bit more and a higher rate of participation, we would propose increasing that rebate amount to $150 per tree, no more than 50% of the cost of the tree, so limiting it to 2 trees per residential property. And then still following the approved tree list as well as the prohibitive trees which aren't allowed under the program to help with the diversification of our species in town.
It makes sense to me. I mean, besides just what's coming down with the ash trees in the future, with all the streets and everything, so I'd make a motion, we approve the resolution for 150 maximum per tree.
Second that.
We have a motion from Rodney, second from Brad. Any discussion?
Other than anything we can do to encourage people to plant trees. I know kind of on the north end of North Thorrington there was quite a few trees come out when Hoffman House was moved out of there and across the street north of where the Banks buildings are there. And I've been anxiously awaiting for some new trees to be planted in that area. I don't know if it's going to happen.
Joanne does a great job, and I'm sure she'll put something together to, get this program promoted.
Yeah, we had discussed this a little bit earlier in the year, but just, it being a drought in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
Decided, well, let's kind of wait till that second meeting in August so we can kind of kick it off again as people might look to plant here in the fall.
And last year when we kicked this off, AMU sent it out with their bills too, so we'll do that.
Okay.
Get the word out again.
Well, the simpler we can make the program, the more effective it'll be.
Okay, roll call, Deb.
Jody,
Yes.
Harley.
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Rodney,
Yes.
Don.
Yes.
Motion carried. Agenda item number 11 concerns the EMS training agreement.
This resolution approves a training agreement with Algona EMT Anna Penning. She's going to be taking a one-year paramedic class. The total cost of the estimated class is just over $10,000. We in the past have done the loan program to encourage EMTs to become paramedics, so following the same program and setup that we did for that. So if she stays employed with the city or the EMS, whatever version of it eventually comes, if we go to a kind of like system for 3 years, the loan would be forgiven. If for her own reasons or for our reasons we were to depart before then, at that point then the loan would be due on a prorated basis. So just a way to help encourage our folks to increase their level of care.
And this is something we have done in the past quite regular, haven't we?
Yes, there was a time a while ago where we had a number of them, and then it's been a while since we've had one.
Okay.
But,
Because I heard somebody ask me about this and thought that, well, we made people take these programs and pay for them themselves. And I thought, I don't think we do. I thought it was pretty much on a case-by-case out of necessity so that you have the agreement in place. So,
yeah, we have two, the one for, full-time employees who go from EMT to paramedic, and then the volunteer one to become an EMT, which costs a lot less, and then there's a 24-month period where they have to work so many full shifts, so many months, and at that point then it's forgiven. But again, if they don't pass the course or don't get licensed or don't meet those work requirements, then it's due as a typical loan would be.
yeah. Okay, makes sense. I'd move to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Harley, second from Jody. Any other discussion? Roll call, Deb?
Jody?
Yes.
Carly?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Motion carried. Agenda item number 12 deals with the retail revolving loan fund loan.
Barb, do you mind giving us a little background?
The revolving loan fund committee met and discussed a loan to Michael Lynch. He wants to open the men's hair den and beard detailing out at 811 South Phillips. He's gotten quite a following. Who's he working with right now, Brad? Is it
I don't remember.
the hair? I don't remember. But he's gotten quite a following. The revolving loan fund committee looked at his application, what he's needing the money for, checked his credit report, and thought that this would be a very good loan to make. We, as far as I know, do not have a designated men's barber shop here in town. So I think this is a great investment.
Yeah, and we did secure the loan with a second mortgage on his home. So we're pretty much covered.
Pretty secure there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's a good business, and he's motivated and has a good following already, and it's a necessary service here. So I think he's going to do much better than he even anticipates. I'll move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Brad, second from Don. Any other discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Jody?
Yes.
Carly?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Motion carried. Agenda item number 13 pertains to an outdoor service area and street closure. Vicki.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, so just wanted to come and refresh your memory on the street closing request that was included in the packet that we presented back before Party in the Park started and before Founder's Day. But we are planning an event on Saturday, September 24th called Last Call Before Fall. It's kind of a revamping of what we used to know as Taste of Algona. That seemed to need to be updated and revised and revamped, and so this will be more of a family-friendly fall festival. We hope to line State Street with a variety of games and activities. We will have the stage mobile at the end of State Street, just like we do for Founder's Day. Scott Larson and Deanna Mayer are performing. The street closures would be no parking after 1 p.m. on State Street from Harlan Street to Thornton Street. And then we would actually close the street from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then, as I said, the stage mobile would be at the intersection of State and Thornton. And then, this doesn't affect city street closures, but we're wrapping up the night with an outdoor movie at the Algona High School football field again. So just making it a full day, afternoon and evening of activities. We'd also, I've talked with Doug Pepe and Ryan Henderson about having alcohol serving available, similar to what we did for Founder's Day. Ryan indicated he probably is not going to come out on the street because we don't expect a huge crowd for this, but because he figures he will be busy serving meals and stuff inside. But since the street is closed, then the beer and the wine can be on the street. Doug is celebrating 50 years in business, and he's on the off hours. He's going to do something probably after we shut down the music on the stage mobile for his 50th celebration, but that isn't going to impact anything that he would do with his normal licensing, because he's already got the outdoor service permit. So his event would be later after we're down at watching the movie, but I don't know that if he's got any requests from the city, that would be on his own. But otherwise, both of them felt things went well. I talked to Bo briefly about the serving, similar to what we did for Founder's Day. So just looking to see if you have questions or if we are able to plan to move forward with it.
So on the serving for Founder's Day, that would be to permit liquor sales and outdoor on street. If you're just looking for beer and wine, then that can be allowed just
Because the streets are closed.
The streets are closed. State law allows it unless there's a local ordinance preempting it. So that would be permitted. And then, yeah, if Doug or Ryan wanted to sell beer or wine, then they would need to extend it.
Then they need to extend it.
But yeah, so yeah, just beer and wine back in, yeah, as long as the streets are closed,
Okay.
that's fine.
Yeah, and they're both aware of that too, so.
Closing at 1 p.m., is that going to impact any of the downtown businesses still open then, or can that get pushed back at all?
Well, it would be no parking after, so
Okay,
we wouldn't actually close it till 3, and I think by then the majority are already closed.
okay.
And if we've got an event called Chalk the Walk that we're going to do as a family entertainment thing from 3 to 4, and the actual activities, whether it's games out in front of the businesses or businesses and organizations not located on State Street that are setting up in the street, would actually be from 4 to 7. And then the music goes until 8 o'clock.
Chalk the walk, that's,
Yeah, we're just
Yeah,
gonna
some-
have them use
Have
their
colored
artistic
chalk out there
talents
and-
and
yeah.
create chalk drawings, and just another family activity for kids to do. Or I talked to, I can't remember if Jacob and I talked about it. I think we did, doing this for Founder's Day for the Kids Bash, but then we came up with enough other things that we didn't do it. But
Well, actually, it sounds
a good rain will get rid of
interesting.
all the
Yeah,
chalk.
that's right. No, it sounds interesting. Ann and I were just down at an art symposium in Des Moines on Friday, and there they talked about different things. One of the subjects was horizontal art, and it was from temporary art, like chalk drawings, and those can be, from very basic to actually very detailed.
Very elaborate, yeah. We
Yeah.
borrowed this idea from
Yeah.
another community that we had just,
Yeah.
when we were Googling some ideas.
And in some places, they do like in a pocket park where they have somebody come in and do a mural there.
Right.
Those can be quite nice. In fact, one of the more interesting ones I thought about when you had the picture of the satellite picture of the buildings down at Jefferson, because they have that bell tower, which you can go clear up to the top. They came up with the idea of, they have murals on top of the roofs of quite a few of the
Well, that's
buildings.
a cool idea.
So if you're ever down Jefferson, go up in the tower just to look at their art. But, or else you could bring it up on your computer and see it, I guess.
So I think you said earlier the meeting would be done at 8. So the flyer says 7.
The games and activities get over at 7,
Okay.
but Scott's playing until 8.
Okay, so the street would have to stay closed
Yes,
at 8.
yeah.
Okay.
And you said we already approved this, didn't we? Is this just mainly an update?
Yep,
I thought we did back in the,
yeah, because it was included in the whole list
Whole
of
list
Party in
of-
the Park closures and Founder's Day
and you didn't
closures.
change the streets or anything, so.
No,
Well, I want to thank you, compliment you on the good work here. I like this event. I missed it last year. I'm looking forward to it this year. And the parties in the park have been just really excellent
They
this
have.
year. So I feel for the people that missed them because they were a good time.
yeah, they have been very successful. It's, the free food one was by far and away the biggest one, but you know, anytime you give food away, you have a
Yeah.
big crowd. But no, we were very pleased with it. So we're looking for ideas. If anybody in the listening audience has an idea for entertainment, we always like to use our local entertainment if we can. So we'll plan June, July, and August of next year, and that planning will start soon.
One thing I think that you and maybe the city and anybody who's doing advertising here, I would really like to see is there are more and more Hispanic speaking people in town. How can we get their attention? We have 2 different tenants who are Hispanic and speak very little English. And I talked to them when the fair was going on. And they both had little kids. And I asked, you know, are you guys going down to the fair? They knew nothing about it. You know, and I said, it's free. There's all kinds of cool stuff there. And they knew nothing about it. So I don't know if there's a way we can have flyers go through their employers or anything like that. But somehow we have to be able to reach this community, and we're not doing it.
We did talk about that as a committee for the Party in the Park, and then also last call before fall, that we maybe need to do a better job of promoting it by creating a flyer printed in Spanish or some way, whether we identify the employers and then share information with them so that they can pass it on.
Yeah.
But I think it's something that needs to be top of mind for all of us.
Yes, I think there's a real potential there we need to tap.
Yeah. I
That's
agree.
probably a note to the city, you know, our website should hopefully have the capability to go in Spanish. Yep.
Oh, that's a good
Yep,
idea.
things like that
Yeah.
can be done pretty quickly.
A lot of Joanne's things she's been doing in English and Spanish, like our snow ordinance announcements, she's doing in English and Spanish.
That's good,
So we're working our way that way.
good.
Yeah, I am very much against government mandating that sort of thing, but I'm also very much for doing it when it makes sense.
Any other questions?
Thank you. Successful.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
keep up the
Thanks,
good work.
guys.
So we don't need any kind of motion or anything with this since this is a review, or?
Well, hold on, the outdoor service area, are you asking, you said like Founder's Day, so are they wanting hard liquor outside then?
That would be up to them. I mean, if Ryan has already indicated he doesn't plan to do that.
Okay, so he's not gonna let the alcohol go out of his building?
No.
Okay, please. Just
We'll
wanted to
just put it in
clarify,
beer,
because
beer and
that's
wine, yeah.
Okay.
I would just approve the street closures as requested since it's been
A number of months.
lifetime
Okay.
since
That's what I understood from
Okay.
what Vicky said. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I understood, yeah.
I'd move to approve then.
Second.
Motion from Harley, second from Don. Any other discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Jody?
Yes.
Harley?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 14 is to approve a pay application.
Matt, you wanna come up and discuss kind of the various projects? So pay application, this is number 1 for the mill and overlay project. The amount is $261,340.68, and my battery is officially dead.
Too long a work session there we had.
So Matt, if you could kind of give us an update on the mill and overlay project?
Yep, I'll just run through all the projects. Mill and overlay project is currently working on Landry Street, Nebraska Street, kind of this whole western area over here. Landry Street, most of the concrete work is poured. They're gonna finish up the concrete work tomorrow on Landry Street, and Blacktop Services has started patching on the south blocks of Landry Street, and they plan to continue patching and hopefully pave Landry Street sometime in the next week or so, potentially yet this week if the weather cooperates. So removals and grading are going on in this western phase, along with concrete curb and driveway and sidewalk replacements. Next phase is kind of Hall Street, State Street, around the courthouse here. They're potentially going to start sawing, doing some of those preparations for removal work this week, and potentially mill part of this street or these areas of the street this week. I'm still trying to get confirmation on an exact schedule for that, but we do have a progress meeting tomorrow with the contractor, and we'll kind of go over their next couple weeks' schedule in stone for that project. Next on the list, Mccoy and Phillips Street. Wicks was in town starting last week, paving on Mccoy Street, and got a lot done. Got all Poplar Street paved, all of Maple Street paved, and then Mccoy in between the two. So all the road in front of the school is completed, minus the sidewalks and intersections. So they're working on sidewalks and parking area this week. Kind of got rained out today with the work, but planning on continuing sidewalk work, parking area work, and intersection tie-ins the rest of this week to get ready for school. Reading has been in communication with the school for what the school needs for sure for traffic flow, for bus drop-off, everything. So everything's going to be in line to have that all completed by the end of the week, and for sure before Tuesday school starting. Poplar Street will most likely be open come Wednesday for through traffic. I know they got a football game this weekend, Friday, I think, so gonna plan on.
Sorry, this Wednesday, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So I think there's a home game at Bishop Garrigan on Friday, I believe.
Could be.
Oh.
What was that?
Scrimmage.
Scrimmage. Still be people.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're gonna get Poplar Street open for kind of that cross-flow traffic. I know there'll be teachers coming into school, and they won't need to take the long way anymore to drive to get to the south parking lot there. And like I said, Reading's working with the school to keep traffic flow, but Wicks and Reading are gonna try and get as much done as they can before school starts. Like I said, last week we got 3 blocks paved fully, so it was a good week. Continuing work on Phillips Street. They're starting underground in phase 2. The gas company is slightly delaying the project in phase 1 with some utility relocations. So we've kind of focused on doing underground in phase 2 to keep the project moving. Reading's going to have both their crews starting on underground tomorrow. So they'll be working on Elm Street and on the south end at North Street, kind of meeting in the middle to get that project wrapped up. There's a lot of services, a lot of houses on that section of the road. So the Hall Street parking lot was kind of 2 weeks out 2 weeks ago. It's probably back to 2 weeks out again to get everything done and wrapped up on Phillips Street before they pull one of the crews off the Hall Street parking lot. But again, we have a progress meeting tomorrow morning for that, so we'll kind of get a little bit better schedule, but that's the way it's leaning towards right now. So probably a September start date for the parking lot, and kind of a full focus, hit it hard, get the underground done, get it graded, get it put back together in a timely fashion. So that's that project. Quick pickleball court was going well. I'm sure you've all heard. The court surfacing subcontractor didn't do a very good job, so we have a need to do some repair work down there, and I don't have a schedule yet from Purple Things on when that's going to take place, but we are going to have a meeting tomorrow and kind of go over what they plan to do. They're going to hire a different subcontractor to repair the surfacing. And Midwest Fence was here last week and put up some fencing, so kind of waiting on contractor's schedule on that project, but it would have been open last week if everything would have went to plan. So it's kind of disappointing, but working on a remedy, and we'll get it fixed before they get paid for their work on that portion of it anyway. So this pay estimate was just worked through July. All the problems came up after that, so the next pay estimate, depending on status of the project and the court surfacing, will address those payment issues at the next pay estimate. Any other questions?
Well, I know you guys probably felt a lot of pressure on McCoy Street, and you guys have done a really good job at getting that project moving, and I know school's right around the corner, and you guys have done a good job.
Yeah, completion
getting
date
that
for
done.
the whole south phase there, phase 1, it is August 20th. We won't have all the concrete poured by then, but we'll be pretty close. And like I said, Redding's been working hand in hand with the school on making sure that what we do in order of operations is getting done the way they would like it to be done for school traffic flow, bus drop off, parent drop off. So I think we'll be, the road will be drivable, and school will be happy with what they're going to have come first day of school.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Move to approve the pay application.
Second.
We have a motion from Harley, second from Rodney. Any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Jody?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Motion carried. Agenda item number 15 also involves a pay application.
This is for the McCoy Street, Phillips Street, and Call Street parking lot project. This is pay application number 4 from Reddings. It is in the amount of $441,397.08.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
A motion from Rodney, second from Jody. Any discussion? This is work completed through July. Vote please, Deb.
Jody?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Motion carried. And agenda item number 16 also involves a pay application.
This is pay application number 2 to Erpelding Excavating Enterprises for the South Park Pickleball Court project. This pay application is in the amount of $37,666.93. As with the others, this is for work completed through July. And then the project balance to finish, not including retainage repelled, is $64,062.64.
Move to approve. Second.
We have a motion from Don, second from Brad. Any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Jody?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Motion carried. Agenda item number 17 concerns a budget amendment.
So this is an item to approve setting publication and the public hearing for a proposed budget amendment for FY 22-23. Typically, we don't see amendments this early on in the year. The reason why is by the time that we got the budget adopted and all that, the grant funding and the position of the law enforcement community liaison position since happened. So the grant funds from Care Connections, those were received in the last fiscal year. And so now we just are recording the expenses which line up with the total grant funding. So that's the $128,409 item. And then since we're going to do this budget amendment for that new grant funded position, we also had in there $25,000 budget amendment as a new line item in the community beautification fund, as we discussed in the work session, which would be for first round of removals this spring in response to all that work. So the notice has the hearing set for our next council meeting, which will be Tuesday, September 6th, due to the Labor Day holiday.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
A motion from Harley, second from Jody. Any discussion? Hearing none, vote please, Deb.
Jody?
Yes.
Harley?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Motion carried. Agenda item number 18 is an appointment to the cemetery board. Actually, two trustees, John Hank and David Van Gorkum's terms each expired August the 11th. Anyone have a chance to visit with either one? Not yet, okay. So is there someone who could reach out to someone know?
I have David. I can talk to David.
I can talk to John.
Okay, all right. And then agenda item number 19 is a final notification. The Airport Commission at Kevin Walker's term is coming up, expires August the 23rd, and this is a 6-year term. And it's my understanding that he's been asked and he would like to continue on the Airport Commission. So I'd entertain a motion to approve
So
his term.
I'll second.
Motion from Don, second from Jody. Any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Jody?
Yes.
Harley?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Motion carried. Very good. And thank you, Kevin, for agreeing to another term. And agenda item number 20, which is our last item. This is the first notification of terms expiring on the Retail Revolving Loan Fund Committee. Betty Kunkel and Teresa Kellenberger's terms each expire on September the 16th. These are 3-year terms, and they are to be appointed by the mayor, so I will be in contact with both Betty and Teresa. So that brings us to the end of our published agenda. It's 5:50, and I would entertain a motion to adjourn our council meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion from Rodney, second from Jody. Thank you very much. The meeting's adjourned.